From car wash catastrophes to titanium rings in places they definitely shouldn't be. Today's lineup proves that sometimes the universe has a twisted sense of humor. And when I say twisted, I mean the kind that makes you wince and cross your legs at the same time. Hello everyone, welcome to Wow Amazing. In this video, we will go through our Volume 13 of Top 10 Most Stupid Darwin Award winners. But before we begin, we would like you guys to subscribe to Wow Amazing channel and hit the notification bell so you do not miss out on amazing and entertaining content that will surely get you amazed. Now get ready, because this volume is absolutely packed with tales that'll make you question humanity's survival as a species. Number 10, the car wash blues. Ladies and gentlemen, meet Renee Tektai, Las Vegas resident, who decided that April 15th, 2022 was a good day to redefine the concept of self-service at a California car wash. It's midnight in Escondido. The car wash isn't even running. Renee drives a cyan hatchback into the facility, and then, for reasons that scientists and philosophers will debate for generations, decides to exit the vehicle while it's still in gear. Let me repeat that. Exit the moving vehicle. Was there a bee, a snake, a sudden urge to dance in the moonlight? We may never know. What we do know is that cars, following the stubborn laws of physics, tend to keep moving when left in gear. The Scion, now driver-free, continued its slow-motion journey through the car wash, with Renee somehow ending up beneath it. The next customer to visit the car wash got quite the shock when they discovered Renee's body. Emergency responders rushed the unresponsive body to Palomar Medical Center, but it was too late. Renee had earned a one-way ticket to the great car wash in the sky. I guess you could say he came out squeaky clean. Too soon? Yeah, probably too soon. Number 9, Pastor Sean meets his maker. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Unless you nearly drowned the first time, in which case maybe reconsider your life choices. Our next story begins on Lake Seminole, where Sean and his friend encountered boat trouble. With no life vest and a sinking vessel, things were looking grim. Thankfully, other boaters called the Pinellas County Sheriff Rescue Team, who arrived shortly after 2 p.m. and brought the soggy sailors safely to shore. Happy ending, right? That's what any sensible person would think. But Sean, bless his waterlogged heart, decided his adventure wasn't over. Just hours after his near-death experience, Pastor Sean called another friend to ferry him back out to rescue his sinking boat. Still without a life vest, still unable to swim, Sean capsized the rescue vessel and plunged into the lake. His buddy tried desperately to save him, but couldn't pull him out of the water. Why couldn't he pull him out? Because, as any seasoned sailor will tell you, people don't have handles. That's what life vests are for. They give rescuers something to grab onto. So here's Pastor Sean, who can't walk on water, can't swim in water, and can't leave the water. The only remaining option was to sink. The Pinellas County Sheriff arrived, and rescue divers searched for hours before recovering the body. Number 8, death by water bottle waterfall. Ever had one of those days where you break into a supermarket and end up crushed beneath a mountain of water bottles? No? Just this 46-year-old Italian man? Okay then, in 2022, a well-known character in the city of Catalica decided to celebrate Easter Monday by sneaking into the back of a closed supermarket. Once inside, he was apparently overcome with thirst and reached for a bottle of water from a towering display. What happened next was like something out of a cartoon, except with decidedly less humor and significantly more mortality. The entire stack collapsed on top of him like a liquid avalanche. When employees returned to work the next day, they were confronted with a mess of collapsed crates. Thanks to CCTV footage, the Carabinieri were able to reconstruct the man's final moments, the fateful tug on the bottle, the beginning of the collapse, and then, well, gravity doing what gravity does best. Number 7, the enema within. Ever had a drink that hit you so hard it killed you? Michael from Texas certainly did, but not in the way you're thinking. He decided to take his drinking habit where the sun doesn't shine, literally. You see, Michael wasn't an ordinary alcoholic. He was an alcoholic with a painful throat condition that made drinking the traditional way uncomfortable. But where others might have seen a sign to slow down, Michael saw an opportunity for innovation. His solution? Alcohol enemas. That's right, instead of pouring sherry down his throat, he poured it up his, well, let's just say his southern entrance. Michael was apparently hosting a solo party in his colon. Two 1.5-liter bottles of sherry, that's more than 100 fluid ounces of alcohol, delivered express mail to his bloodstream via what his wife described as an addiction to enemas. When most of us have had enough to drink, we either stop or pass out. But when Michael passed out, the alcohol still sitting in his rectal cavity continued to be absorbed. By morning, Michael had inadvertently turned himself into a human pickle with a blood alcohol level of 0.47%, nearly 6 times the legal driving limit. He did a pretty good job of embalming himself from the inside out. Our next winner was reaching for internet fame from dangerous heights. Let's head to Australia, where the social media craze of planking claimed one of its most dedicated practitioners. Number 6, balcony brainlessness. For those unfamiliar, planking involves lying stiff as a board in unusual places and taking photos for social media. Most people chose reasonably safe locations, benches, low walls, maybe a fire hydrant. But a 20-year-old Acton, however, decided to go extreme. Camera ready, he stretched himself face down on a balcony railing, arms by his side, stiff as a plank. Did I mention balconies are gravity's favorite feeding ground? One wobble, one shift in weight, and down went to the graveyard. Acton providing a perfect demonstration of Newton's law of universal gravitation. So remember, people, likes and shares aren't worth your life. And if you absolutely must plank, maybe do it somewhere that isn't several stories above concrete. Speaking of positions you don't want to be caught dead in, our next couple took romance to deadly new heights, or rather speeds. In 2010 in Brazil, strong emotions and bad parking decisions led to a dangerous explosion. Number 5, highway to the danger zone. It's a foggy morning on Via Dutra, the largest freeway in Brazil. Traffic is heavy, visibility is poor, and a young couple decides this is the perfect time for romance. And interestingly, these two lovebirds park their car not on the roadside, not at a gas station, but in the right-hand lane of an active freeway under heavy fog. What happened next is exactly what you'd expect when parking on a busy freeway. A cargo truck, unable to see the parked car until it was too late, slammed into the vehicle, instantly sending our lovebirds to that great lover's lane in the sky. This one earns a special double-double Darwin Award. Two people making two obviously bad decisions, eliminated from the gene pool at the very moment they were attempting to reproduce. Our number 4 spot ventures into territory that might make some of you cross your legs. Number 4, the thing ring. In 2014, medical staff was called to a hospital emergency department to assist in removing a thing ring from a man's personal area. When they arrived, they find a patient with his meat and 2 veg extremely swollen and so dark purple that they were almost black. The culprit? A thick titanium ring encircling the whole sorry mess? Normally, removing such items is a quick procedure, but titanium proved to be their kryptonite. After dulling several cutter blades without making a mark, they had to admit defeat. The man in question had put himself in this predicament 3 days earlier, but delayed seeking help due to embarrassment and a vain hope that the problem would resolve itself. That delay cost him dearly. By the time he sought help and the tools had failed, his jewels were past saving. Full castration, the result of his own actions and decisions, earned this a living Darwin Award. While our ring enthusiast situation was painfully tight, our next Darwin duo found themselves in an equally tightening scenario, caught between the rails and an oncoming train. Let's head to the Netherlands, where liquid courage led to solid stupidity. Number 3, track and yield. The station was crowded with more than 300 fans returning from a soccer match, but our 2 daredevils stepped off the platform and onto the tracks. The first man lay down between the rails, intending to prove that an entire train could pass over him without causing harm. His friend, slightly less confident, merely knelt next to the track, keeping his head as close as possible to where he thought was safe from the train. But the train, traveling at 130 kilometers per hour, was both lower and wider than they anticipated. They were killed instantly, leaving 300-plus traumatized onlookers on the platform and interrupting train traffic for hours, while authorities cleaned up the mess. Morale, physics doesn't care how brave you think you are. Number 2, happy welder. Our next winner proves that sometimes your career choice can be a real blast. On February 2013, mechanic Sergio A. Rosa from São Paulo, Brazil was fixing a gas tanker, known for prioritizing speed over safety. With torch in hand and confidence in heart, Sergio approached the tanker like a surgeon approaching a routine appendectomy. One spark, two sparks, and then kaboom. The empty tanker exploded with such force that parts of Sergio were discovered a stunning 400 meters away. Did his life flash before his eyes, or just the rest of him? His co-workers later established the Sergio Protocol, a safety checklist that basically amounts to, don't do anything Sergio would do. Number 1, the Interstate Showdown. For our number 1 spot, we head to Berkeley, California, where 2 motorists demonstrated that road rage isn't just dangerous, it can be deadly. On September 12, 2021, 2 drivers got into a fender bender on busy Interstate 80. In the fog of early morning, with visibility already compromised, these 2 Einstein-level geniuses decided to exit their vehicles in the middle of the freeway to argue about who hit whom. In what can only be described as cosmic irony, a hapless Mini Cooper driver swerved to avoid the Dodge Durango and Chevy Malibu wrecks, accidentally colliding with both men. The lesson here? Neither dead driver cares about that dispute anymore. And let's spare a thought for the poor Mini Cooper motorist, traumatized through no fault of their own. As traffic safety officials often remind us, situational awareness, it's a thing. Unfortunately for these 2 men, it wasn't their thing. Road rage might be deadly, but so can road cleanliness, which brings us full circle back to car washes. Since we started with a car wash fatality, let's end with a bonus entry with another automotive cleaning catastrophe. Bonus entry, car wash logic. This strange case involves a driver who chose to clean their car at an automatic car wash in Wisconsin. The mechanical brushes were churning away when the driver noticed a piece of debris still stuck to the headlight. Did they wait until the cycle finished? Of course not. They exited the vehicle. While it was properly in park, thankfully, they learned from Renee's mistake, and attempted to clear the debris while the massive rotating brushes continued to spin. You can probably guess what happened next. The brushes grabbed the person's arm and pulled them into the mechanism. Fortunately, quick action by car wash employees prevented a fatality, but the individual suffered multiple fractures and contusions. And there you have it, folks. 10 plus 1 of humanity's finest moments. These extraordinary examples of poor decision-making serve as cautionary tales for the rest of us. Remember, common sense isn't actually all that common. Also, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss our next episode, where we'll bring you more tales of evolution in action. And hey, if you know someone who could use a lesson in common sense, share this video with them. You might just save a life. As always, stay smart, stay safe, and remember, Darwin is watching. This is Wow Amazing, signing off until next time.